Du hast fish. Hi friends, welcome in. Hi if you're new and we've not met. Jade and Echo, Baby Neko. We're gonna craft today. Well, I'm gonna craft. She's gonna do cats in boxes and whatever she feels like. She might whip out Legos at some point. But at the moment, I'm gonna keep sewing a bunch of bags until she finishes deciding what she's doing. She usually abandons us after a few minutes. But, yeah. Sup. Hi! If you're new and we've not hung out before, I'm just an old lady crafter. I do whatever I want. I'm a Canadian. I'm a Mohawk Indigenous Canadian person. Or, East Coast. Not the East Coast, but the East. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Making bags. I found my green thread. I found my fluorescent orange thread. I'm almost done in albino. I've got 3 bags on the go. 4 bags on... 4 half-done bags. I'm going to finish them. I'm going to finish them today. Probably at least 2 or 3 of them. Unless I get tired of sewing. Then whatever. But I'm just going to chill here with Alice and watch some YouTube. And whatever.
On August 1st, 2025, comedian Matt Rife went viral for announcing the purchase of one of the most dangerous collections of paranormal artifacts in the world.
I have just bought
Silver says, hey girl, hey.
Ed and Lorraine Warren's home and occult museum with my very good friend Elton Castay. We are the legal guardians and caretakers of all 750 haunted artifacts and items in the Warren Museum.
The museum that houses the infamous Annabelle doll.
Including the Annabelle doll.
And while he spoke with passion and a smile, thousands of viewers sent him warnings. Oh, you in danger. Are you insured? Don't touch nothing. Prayers. May the odds be ever in your favor. And some bidding their farewells.
This is the real Annabelle. The one locked in a glass case because even Lorraine Warren was scared of it. The one that inspired an entire horror franchise, the one tied to unexplained deaths, accidents, and full-on demonic encounters.
Of course, this sounds ridiculous, but the amount of people sharing their unusual stories is impossible to ignore.
Annabelle is the reason that I believe in evil.
With recent incidents tied to Annabelle's presence, where disaster seems to strike certain places she visits.
Found dead in his hotel room while he was on tour with the Annabelle doll.
And personal experiences of people who met the doll face to face. My life turned into a nightmare after meeting the real Annabelle doll. How much danger is Matt Rife really in?
We pretty much take it all. Fridges and dishwashers, couches,
Ghost! Legit.
It's good.
Energies
You see,
exist.
Matt didn't just buy the Warrens' house and
What up,
museum
girl?
as a quiet admirer.
Spooky
He
Yuki?
planned to turn it into entertainment.
And what this means for you guys is you are going to soon be able to book a night or a weekend.
It's a haunted
and
doll.
stay
It's got a ghost
at
in
the
it.
Warren's house and investigate the house and the history of the house, as well as the museum and all the artifacts inside of it.
And while the artifacts inside the museum still belong to the Warren family, Matt and Elton became the legal caretakers of the artifacts for
Oh,
at least
you'll
the
tangle
next
it, you
5
poo-hole.
years. Even Matt seemed aware of the potential danger.
This is the most random hobby ever, but it's so f***ing cool, man. I should probably collect stamps or something. Might be a little safer.
Now, for the first time in 6 years, Matt and Elton plan to reopen the Warrens' house and occult museum after it was shut down in 2019 because it's in a residential zone and was not approved for tourism. But the idea of a comedian making a profit off potentially haunted items and turning the Warrens' home into an Airbnb shocked the internet. While some defended him, just because he's a comedian doesn't mean he will make everything into a joke. He said he loves this stuff and will do everything respectful with it, which I can get behind. Plus, it's so cool to open this for overnight stays for big fans of the paranormal. Many people couldn't help but worry about the potential dangers associated with the Annabelle doll. The real Annabelle isn't porcelain like in the movies. It's a large Raggedy Ann doll. And according to the previous owners, the Warrens, it was first given to a nursing student in the 1970s who allegedly noticed it moving on its own, leaving strange notes, and even attacking a friend. The Warrens also alleged Annabelle wasn't possessed with the ghost of a little girl, but a demonic entity pretending to be one. They locked the doll in a glass case with a sign reading, "Positively do not open."
This is the worst thing in here. It's that doll.
And the Warrens were a whole other story. Ed and Lorraine Warren were a husband and wife team who spent decades investigating alleged hauntings and collecting objects they believed were paranormal.
Everything and anything in here we have investigated.
In their Monroe, Connecticut home, the one Matt bought, they converted part of the basement into the occult museum, filled with items they claimed were tied to real cases, some allegedly involving violent deaths, demonic activity, or streaks of bad luck. Among them were voodoo dolls, satanic idols, funeral masks.
You know
and
what?
the
Maybe we
infamous
should pick something
Annabelle.
else
The
to watch
Warrens
first.
insisted.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about some BJ? BJ is always the queen of awesome.
Our most coveted style, the Uptown Loafer, has a new friend.
Milagro saying she's a liar or she lied at
There
the
you go.
trial. And the things they're posting are, among other things, posted by people like you saying she's a liar and she lied at trial, right? So these are two different statements, right? It seems like it's the same, and it seems like kind of nitpicky to focus on the fact that they're two different, but do keep it in mind because these are two different statements. Is Milagro saying she's a liar, which, as I just explained, I could see how a reasonable person would come to that conclusion, or she lied at the trial? That's different. That's more specific. She's a liar because she lied is one thing. She lied on the stand is another thing. There's two different things. So the lawyer is saying things people are posting are, among other things, people like you saying she's a liar.
All right.
And she lied at trial.
There you
right?
go.
She said, oh, I don't know who she's talking to. But I would imagine maybe those are some of the things she might be upset about. I don't know, maybe. The lawyer said, yeah.
No.
At least you know that you said that about her before she said, what do I need to do to stop this? She said, do I know that I said that? That she was a liar? Yeah. And that she lied at the trial. Now, this is where they start to get into some nuance. And Milagro, I believe, holds her ground masterfully. And a lot of times, you don't have to be up to speed on how to do a deposition. You just kind of have to be telling the truth and keep track of the truth. Like,
No, this is one of
that kind
the
of feels like
cats.
what's going on in this next sequence.
This one's
And y'all
fluorescent
can let me know if
green.
you agree or not. Did you say that? What?
I
that
have
she was a
more
liar?
orange
Yes,
ones to
and
make.
that she lied at the trial. See how he's trying to pass it? He's trying to package it into one little package. And this is a great strategy. This is a great legal strategy. But if you're telling the truth and you're just a little bit intelligent, and it appears to me that Milagro may be beyond a little bit intelligent. I've never met her, I don't know her, but it seems like she's pretty intelligent. She's highly educated. So
That albino dino is almost done, and I
she
ordered the
can
red
keep
thread.
track.
It should be
She
here
can keep
tomorrow.
track of the story, and she doesn't fall for this little okie doke that the lawyer is trying at this point. Okay.
So the
And
next
things
one
they're
will be a
posting are, among other
baseball-looking
things,
one.
Right? See how he packages it in here? It's like he's packing another thing. So by the end of the sentence, he's done included like several complex clauses.
Which reminds me, I really
The things
should
they're posting
color
are,
the
among other
frills
things,
red.
posted by people like you, saying, "quote She's a liar and she lied at the trial, right? You know you said that, right?
Oop.
What do I need to do
Nope.
to stop this?" She said, "I know I said what? That she's a
That's
liar."
not gonna work, you poop.
She said that she's a liar? Milagros like, "Did I say that she's a liar?" The lawyer said, "Yes, and that she lied at the trial." Milagros said, "I have called her a liar in terms of saying she lied." So I've called her a liar in terms of saying she lied at the trial?
Nope. You can't
I'm
do
not
it that
gonna
way.
say I ever said that.
It's gotta put it back and try
So the lawyer
again.
goes, "You're denying you said that? You said that many times, right?" She said, I would need to see what you're referencing or see exactly what you're talking about." Perfect. Yes. What you talking about? No, I don't remember saying that. Okay, the lawyer said, "But sitting here today, telling the truth, you can't recall having said in a public place that Meg lied at the trial?"
I think.
Milagro said, "I did
Up
not
by
say
one?
that. I posed a question."
That's how it does.
Okay, you never affirmatively
There.
called her a liar? She said, "Yep, I did call her a liar, but that's not the same thing as saying she lied at the trial." She
All right,
said,
now
she said,
go.
"I have called her a liar." The lawyer said, "What am I missing?" What am I
You
missing?
can't have them stack on top
The
of
lawyer
each
doesn't
other.
understand the difference between saying somebody's a liar
Oh,
and saying
all right. What's
somebody
your next
lied
move?
at the trial. All of a sudden, what am I missing? He needs a brain scan.
You got to
needs
move
a
the other one
frontal temporal
first.
Dementia scan, y'all, because he's missing.
Yep.
it.
Rotate. 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 Rotate
Sitting here
means
today,
twist.
you can't recall ever saying in a public place, Meg lied at the trial. She said, I did not
Is that
say
gonna work?
that.
No.
I posed a question. Wait, you never affirmatively called Meg a liar? She said, yes, I have called her a liar. Yes. What am I missing?
You're gonna have
The
to
lawyer
figure out a
says.
different way to move this
She
one
said that Megan has lied many times.
and this one.
So
they
I have
can't
called
go
her
there.
a
They got to
liar
go a
for
different way.
reasons.
No,
The
you know
lawyer,
what I think
utterly
you should
perplexed,
do?
Utterly perplexed and bemused, bewildered and confused.
Like that.
Wait,
Oh,
but you're saying you never called her a
try
liar?
this.
You never said she lied at the trial?
Nice.
These
Okay,
are,
now
again,
move one of those.
Two different postulations, and I believe he is trying so
Maybe
hard
move
to
this
trick
one
her
back
up
first.
just to get one little oopsie daisy.
No,
where
don't
she
twist it.
accidentally,
Don't
because
twist
the
it.
question is so confusing.
Just move it backwards. Okay?
She says, yeah, so he can throw that in her face
Boop.
for
Now
her.
you got one more kitty to try and cover.
He said,
Is that
you
gonna
are
work?
saying you never called her a
Nuh-uh.
liar.
Okay.
You never said she lied.
So
at
you
the
got to
trial.
lift this
These
one
are
back
two
over
different
here.
things, and
This
lawyer
is the
freaking
one. We got to
knows it,
figure out what to do
in
with
my
it.
opinion. He's definitely,
Maybe go
definitely
it
sharp
this way.
and smart enough to know the difference. But when
Yes,
it's not
okay.
really beneficial to him, when he's trying to just railroad
All right, now
this
how
poor
do you do
girl, in
this
my
one?
opinion, is what's going on in this sequence. In my opinion, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just reading from this thing.
Uh-oh.
Just saying
All
you
right,
never
let's
called
move
her a
them
liar.
backwards.
False.
This
She
one goes
literally
back over
said
here.
one sentence.
This
up,
one goes back
I
over
called her a liar
here.
for
What
different
does this-
reasons.
No, that one was where
But
it
you're
was.
saying you
That
never
one I
called her
think
a
is
liar.
good.
Nobody said that. It's just to confuse. Maybe you stupid. Maybe you
I
need
think
a break.
that one is good.
Yeah, because where I covered
never
the
said
white
she lied
kitty
at the
and the
trial?
black kitty.
Mm-hmm.
She said no. I
Maybe
posed the
this one
question,
over on the
did
brown
she lie
kitty.
at the trial? I'm wondering,
This one?
did
Yeah.
she lie at the trial? I mean, maybe
Hey.
she didn't. Maybe she didn't.
Nope.
Maybe she didn't. But her stories don't reconcile with each other. Either she stepped on glass or she didn't. Either she got shot or she didn't. And she told different stories. So I could see why somebody
How
would
about
call her
this
a
way?
liar and why they would call
Yeah, that'll
that one of
make
those
sense.
a lie. Now, can I know, sitting here with any degree of
Okay,
certainty,
now
to
move
any
this
degree of
guy.
certainty, which one was the so-called
Over
lie?
here?
No. Could it be
Not gonna
possible she
work.
truly didn't
Why
even
isn't
know
it?
she got shot until sometime later? I guess that's also some slim
Maybe.
possibility.
Oh, no, it's
in
not,
the-
because
in the
then you're
world of
right.
things
It's
that are
only 4
possible.
squares. Okay. What about if you went...
Tatiana said Milagro is very intelligent. I've been listening to her
No.
for years. I'm proud of how she's handling this, but I'm not surprised. One of a kind. She does have a lot of y'all in here who are like, you know, saying the
Maybe
same
this
type
one
of things,
isn't
like,
a
you've been
good
following
one
her
up
for
there.
years. She's very nice.
What
She's
if
credible.
you
She never
twist
makes
it?
any like statements as facts. They're railroading her. I know there's a lot of y'all in here. And welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Okay. So she's like, no, I just posed the
What
question.
if-
Did she lie at trial? But why did you pose that question?
You twist it.
Because the stories don't add up. That's why. Okay. She said because there
No,
was
you
a
can't
witness
take them out at the
testimony
same
or
time. You can
expert
only move one
testimony
piece at a
that
time.
She had nerve damage from her. I'm sorry. Megan said she had nerve damage. The expert said she
You
did
can.
not. That's a contradiction to me. Okay, but you just read part of the stuff, right? She said, I was there. I was there.
Oh, yeah, maybe we'll
She
hold
said,
that
but you
there
don't know
for
the
a
whole
second.
story. She said, what do you mean? Well, did you see the medical evidence? She said, yeah, I saw a medical report. Did you see the medical report? Did you see an x-ray with bullets in her foot?
That'll work.
She said, no, I can't say that either.
Mommy,
Because when I was
what's
sitting in
this?
court,
Okay.
when we were in
What's
court,
this,
they did
Mama?
not say bullet fragments. They said metallic
You are the
fragments.
silly Billy.
Yay!
The lawyer said, but metallic is not glass, right? She said, I'm
I did it!
Yay!
But you're casting an opinion
Yes, this
on
is the
whether
black
Meg
hat.
told the truth based on
Black
forensic
cat
evidence,
is your
right?
pet kitty.
She said,
Meow,
well,
meow, meow, meow.
bullet fragments did go missing as
White
it was
kitty is
reported.
my pet
So no,
kitty.
I couldn't
Okay.
tell the truth.
Do you
whether-
want
I
to switch to
couldn't
Lego
tell
now that
or
you did
make
some
an
cats and
opinion
boxes?
on whether Megan told the truth because the bullet fragments were missing.
They're really
Another
hungry.
Good point. It's just,
Yeah,
I mean, shot after shot after shot he's taking, and I don't think she's really going for it. I think she's kind of navigating it pretty good. She's kind of Heismaning right on through.
Nice.
I think they like to eat that.
The lawyer said, but you sat in the courtroom,
do you think
and you saw the doctor who worked on her
they'll-
foot show you
I
the
was seeing
X-ray
honey with
that had the
drink on
metallic
side,
fragments
so
in her
I think
foot.
they'll like
Yes.
to eat those.
She said,
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. And
Maybe
TMZ
they'll like
reported
to
that
eat
glass
silly
was broken.
stuff.
Super
She
silly.
did tell cops that she stepped on glass. And a medical report also stated that she was actually just treated for broken glass stepping on.
And the line has
So there's some
supposed to
real
be
evidence for you.
mine on it.
The lawyer says, but what
First,
does one have to do with the
brown,
other?
Second,
If there's actually bullet fragments in her foot. She said, I don't know.
third.
A professional should probably know the difference between
Gray,
glass and
fourth.
bullets.
white. Eating time. Time to eat.
Order in the court. She did not have to do that to this man.
Can I eat ramen?
I'm joking, she
food?
did. It's funny.
Which one do you start?
What does one have to do with the other? If there's bullet fragments in her foot, she said, well, a professional should know the difference
Ramen
between glass and bullet
or
fragments.
Green.
And that, and that the people who responded on the scene outside of her claiming she stepped on glass. And that TMZ report saying that there was glass in the vehicle. Her wound also did not look consistent to me with a gunshot wound. And I looked up what gunshot wounds look like. I mean, by the time we got to court, there was a medical report put out by another outlet. I believe Myron Gaines. Spook, in my opinion. That means working with the federal authorities. If you don't know about COINTELPRO, that infiltrated, the FBI infiltrated the Black Panther movement, the Black Panther Party. It's called COINTELPRO or COINTELPRO. Yeah. I think they still do that kind of stuff. Anyway, completely unrelated. I don't know. I don't know this man from Adam. I don't know. Okay. But he likes to go to court cases and things too. It's interesting, Myron Gaines. The medical report stated she was treated for glass. So to me, that was very questionable. Did somebody need to be removed from the hospital? I don't want to go to the hospital. You can't tell the difference between glass and bullets? Okay, the lawyer said, well, do you have any personal knowledge that she wasn't shot? She said no. Do you have any evidence, admissible evidence, suggesting she wasn't shot? No. Did anybody at the trial, did Tory at the trial say, I didn't shoot her? No, and he doesn't have to. He has a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. He doesn't have to do that. Has Tory ever said to you, I didn't shoot her? No. And Megan said at the trial that he did. Right. Okay. So she said, but Tory has also publicly stated he didn't do anything wrong online. Yeah, but that wasn't under oath, right? The lawyer says. He wasn't willing to say that under oath. Yeah, because then if he said that under oath, it would open him up to cross-examination, which would be something that he doesn't have to do. He doesn't have to do that.
What do you get?
She said, no, you were asking me why I didn't believe Megan. So, him not being on the stand was not my concern. Prior to that, it was Megan lying. When police arrived on the scene, she wasn't honest with them. And that, to me, that was a hit on her credibility. Then, she went on Instagram Live multiple times, contradicting herself. It is a fact that she was not in the
Sorry, I needed to move it.
So the weapon that was there, she moved.
Okay.
The lawyer said, okay, and all that was presented to a jury of her peers. And the way we do it in America, and he was convicted of having shot her, right? She said, yeah, but thank God for the appeals court. The lawyer said, but they haven't done anything with that conviction. She said, not yet, but thank God for it. That's why they appeal. Okay, and you're going to be saying the same stuff, even if the appeal is dismissed or the conviction is affirmed. She said, I can't really tell you what I'm going to be saying in the future, but right now, I don't believe a case was proven. I heard prosecutors say DNA was a wash. I don't believe that DNA is essential. What do you mean you don't believe that the case was proven? They put on a case and the jury convicted him. What's the definition of proven if it's not that? She said, well, for me, and I find her to be pretty credible on this too, because she was there in court. She said, for me, I believe that the Court of Appeals, it exists for the reason that if something didn't go the way you believe, you have a chance to argue it. And many people have been found innocent after having originally been convicted, especially black men. He said, okay. Quote, Cardi won her case because Tasha K handed it to her. Hello everybody, thanks for watching the channel. What you just saw was a clip from a longer video. If you want to watch the full video, you can do that right here. Or
I was watching it.
Hi, I'm Brother Nature. I made organic grains taste delicious.
Nature's Path. Sunstar, Tory Lanez's dad.
I got light chocolate.
She said, well, he had sent me a message on Instagram in about 2020. She doesn't recall. All right, so did the interview actually happen? Did you do it? She said, yep. You couldn't tell me anything substantive that it was. It was just you and Tori talking about the documentary or whatever, right? She said, no, right, I can't talk about nothing substantive.
You? Light chocolate.
And sounds like any substance about the case was through his dad, is that right?
Now score, you?
She said, no, could you, what? The lawyer said, well, you didn't talk to Tori about the case. She said, right. And you did talk to his dad about the case, at least on and off over time, right? She said, yeah. Okay, the lawyer says, do you have Milagro saying she's a liar or she lied at the trial? And the things they're posting are, among other things,
dark jacket, bloop. Light chocolate, bloop. Marmalade, bloop. Rainbow, bloop. And strawberry, bloop. Thank you. Now you can pour them in. Okay. Pour. Now, make your whipped cream. Boop, 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 boop. Start with the whipped cream milk. Pour. Thank you. Doing garbage. Pour. Oops.
All right, you know what? We're gonna watch some Brad Mondo for funsies.
Hello, beautiful. You look gorgeous. X Mondo Color. That is my brand. We are loaded with great reviews, but sometimes a few bad ones are sprinkled in there. Just to remind me that I'm not perfect and my brand still makes mistakes. And I've come to accept it. We can't always make everybody happy. Today, we're watching the good and possibly the bad reviews of X Mondo Color. I'm not scared. I can do this.
Today, I'm going to be trying out the X Mondo hair color by Brad Mondo. This is the 5-minute top coat. I'm going to be doing lavender today because my hair, I have not had platinum blonde in so long. It's also been a really long time since I've done like a really light lilac-y purple. So I'm going to try her out. I'm going to see how this goes.
Okay.
We're starting off with 5-minute top coat. That is my newest range of products under X Mondo Color. Process here in 5 minutes on wet hair, no gloves required, no tools required. Super easy and simple. It's gonna be really hard to fuck this up, and that is the point of 5-minute top coat. I was gonna say guaranteed, but legally I can't say that. Possibly guaranteed. The only concern I have, when she turned her head to the side, she has yellow going all through her hair, and she has also a kind of washed out pink tone throughout the mids and ends. So when you're putting a pastel color over a non-perfect canvas, you are going to get non-perfect results. You're going to get results that are a little bit of a variation of tone. So we'll expect to see that for sure. Light colors show everything that's happening underneath. So just beware, if you're using a pastel color, don't expect perfection.
There is some pink hue throughout my hair because my hair has been pink. I just redid my roots yesterday and they are slightly yellow, but the purple genuinely should be dark enough to cover it. The one thing I will say about this like packaging is that you twist the cap to open it and you twist it shut. So like there's no seal or anything. There's no like real cap necessarily. And that's the only thing I maybe dislike about this type of packaging is that I feel like this could get messy, but you just twist it.
When we designed this, I wanted to make sure that that cap could not get lost and was mess-free as possible. So to me, it's very mess-free. Like that was the whole point. The cap has a little reservoir in it so that you can kind of just wipe your finger across it and clean it that way. It's really simple and it really doesn't get messy. Promise. Wipe it off as you go, like with your hand, and then it comes all off. This is our easiest packaging ever. And that click was my favorite part. Everything about packaging is so fun to do. I love innovating packaging. This to me was a way we could do that so that you don't lose caps, so that you don't have to take anything off, so everything's even more simple.
At Marshall's, our buyers hustle 24/7 to get you great deals on the good stuff.
Then it has everything.
But this purple definitely seems dark enough to where my roots will be toned and should be slightly purple. But yeah, some parts are a little more warm, which is fine. I think it'll add dimension. My hair is healthy and shiny and beautiful, gorgeous, and stunning, and she's gonna be purple. Ideally, I'm assuming this product probably would be best used in the shower. However, I'm going to wet my hair and then come back so that I can actually see in a mirror because my hair is growing. She's getting longer. It's not really easy for me to get all of my hair in the shower where I can't see what I'm doing, especially when it's damp.
Using 5-minute top coat in the shower is one of the best ways of using it, so it's really quick and even less messy than using it out of the shower. Super easy, but I agree with her. Sometimes you can't look in the mirror in the shower. I mean, some people do have mirrors in the shower. And if you're not that person, applying it out of the shower might be a little easier. You can totally re-wet your hair and just put it on like that.
All right, I'm back. My hair is damp. I personally am going to section off the top and bottom parts of my hair just because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Personally, I'm just going to be using my hand. I imagine that this won't stain that much, and if it does, oh well. Like, this is the color. I'm not sure how much I'm going to end up needing.
I just get excited about everything about color. So we designed it to not be used with gloves. That's totally fine. 99% of people, it will not stain your hands. Obviously, if you are the palest of white people, you might see a little bit of something. But if you are not, you will not see anything. Because every time we tested this, every time we did any kind of trial run with this product,
is going on over there?
Gloves on purpose because we did not want people to
The
have to
vacuum
use
fell
gloves to apply this product.
The vacuum is a
Me,
butthole.
For everybody who's ever tested it, it does
How
not
dare
stain
you.
your hands. No gloves necessary.
All right, my hat. You're gonna wreck it. Thank you.
I want to make sure I really get it into
My
roots
bag's over
and
here.
just, like,
My bag back, please.
massage it in there. I never dye my hair like this. Like, usually
Alright,
I'm very good about like sectioning and getting everything, but this is meant to go on damp hair. I do have a comb, and again, I never do this, but I am going to try to do this.
You are doing it great. This is the whole point. It's easier than ever.
The top section is not going to be done as clean. That's just how it is.
So she's applying this color to the top of her head. 5-minute top coat has surfactants built into it, which is the stuff that suds like in the shampoo. That way, the kind of sudsing, shampooing factor kind of moves around the color molecules to hit your entire head easily and evenly without having to section too much and while having wet hair. And that is what the water does. It actually helps the surfactant activate so that all that
There, Alice.
If you have long hair, I would not apply this product the way that it says to, because it is really hard to get every single part without sectioning. Like, I'm trying. I'm just gonna say it. I think this product is great if you have short hair. If you have long hair, applying this without sectioning is actually not good, because no matter how much I comb through, no matter how much I massage this into my scalp, there's just gaps that I'm missing because I have too much hair.
Totally see what you're saying. The thing is, your hair can be way more wet when applying this. The more wet on the root it is, the more you're gonna get that sudsing so that all that color gets around and gets around evenly. But here, these are things we find out when the public tries it, rather than our own testing internally. And guess what? These are things we can fix with more education. I will write this down though and make sure everybody knows through educational pieces how wet to make their hair before applying 5-minute top coat. That way there's no confusion. You can also section it. You can also do that. That is totally fine. Making it more wet will definitely help though. That way you can get that sudsing going.
And I don't want to have to do this again, so I'm just applying more product. I'm just hoping that I'm not gonna miss a spot. All right, I used my double mirrors. And I have done as much cross sectioning as I can possibly do. I have combed through my hair multiple times, so if any parts get missed, I don't think it's my fault. I
love that she's combing her hair, but next time you can even use a fine tooth comb. That way the product gets in very nicely. You are really raking that product through.
This product would be really useful if your hair is already a light purple and you just want to like touch it up, almost like a color depositing conditioner. Like, I will keep using this every time that I shower moving forward to keep the color intact and just give it like a little refresh.
That is also a great way of using it as a color refreshing product. I love what she just said.
I am so gonna let this sit for maybe like 15 minutes. I genuinely don't care to leave it on super long. I'm gonna rinse it.
Just be careful leaving it on for longer than 5 minutes because it will continue to get darker. It will not be deep purple, but it won't be quite pastel lavender colored. It won't get like really dark, but it'll get darker.
I will be back to show you how this turned out.
I cannot wait to see these results.
I am a purple nurple. Honestly, the color is so pretty. This will be the perfect shade.
Oh my god!
Of like a pastel lilac after a couple washes. Once these darker pieces go a little more icy, it will be my perfect shade. I'm not in love with it just because I love pink so much. I really like the dimension in it just because I had
sensitive skin. Meet your match with our most moisturizing formula ever. Creamy lather, ultra gentle care. For 24-hour lotion soft.
Different tones in my hair. Overall, she's cute.
Holy
How's it going,
shit. That is the most beautiful, everything about this. The haircut and the styling and the color. They all just come together perfectly, like absolutely perfectly. Obviously your hair has different tones going through it because she didn't have a very perfect base to work with anyways. You're seeing different tones of lavender mixed in there, but oh my god, it is so shiny, it is so bright, and it is the perfect tone of lavender. Like, she's saying that she likes pink better, but like, girl, this is your color. Comment down below, guys, and tell her. I'm sure she's watching this video. Convince her that lavender is her color. And give this video a like and subscribe if you're not already. By the way, 5 Minute Top Coat also comes in the color rose gold and platinum. This is the platinum one.
So we have the amethyst. These are the jewel tone colors. So we have amethyst.
I'm immediately scared. This is not gonna be good. I don't know if I can say it's my fault, but she has a tough canvas she's working with. I mean, we have bright yellow strands going through the back of her hair. We have bright blonde in the front. We have that drop of a root going on in the back that's like a level 7 light brown. Oh, and some damage. A lot of different shit going on, which means we're gonna get a lot of variation with those tones in the end result.
Oh man, it's like fresh and clean and like salon, like so good. And she's glittery. She's got some glitters.
There is actually mica in all of our color products because you need to have a fun experience while you're coloring your hair, duh. These are also our gemstone colors, so they are very fun.
This is the turquoise, and again, they got little sparkles in it. And then we have sapphire. This is the rhodolite. Brad, I'm taking your tips into account for this video. I'm not a level 10. My color is not even. I have orange. I still have like my root growth, but I have faith and trust in these colors that it will go over it. And I fully expect the orange spots will leave maybe some different colors. So for example, per color theory, if I put like a blue on one of the orangey spots, it's probably going to turn green. And any other color that I put on there, it's not going to be true.
Oh, I love this woman. She is so smart, and she knows hair, and she knows color theory. Oh, we are on to something good here. This is one of those situations where like you don't actually know what's going to happen, because if her hair is porous enough and the colors are dark enough, it will probably hide all of the issues going on, even her roots. Like it'll probably just know, you won't even know she has roots. Because these colors are so pigmented, it'll probably cover everything, but you never like to guarantee that because guess what? It's different for everybody, but I'm sure for her it'll work. Let's see.
The other thing that I'm doing is starting at the bottom. I am doing a color melt today. I'm gonna do probably a couple inch sections at a time and just, you know, do some solid of one color, do some ombre of another color, you know, like 2 colors here and here. I'm also keeping my roots. I want to see how well these colors go over brown hair and what they look like. The true test will be after I wash it. Most colors will stay on your hair and you'll see it after the initial rinse, but then they kind of will wash out after the first wash.
Oh, she is putting me to the test here. So she's testing me on how well this will cover yellow, bright yellow. She's also testing the color out by putting on her natural root that is brown. So we're gonna see how the this goes. Sweating a little bit, but confident at the same time. Okay, we are starting off with the purple, and now we're going into the blue. There's already a lot going on, and she only did the first strand.
So pretty, and it smells so good. Oh man, my whole bathroom is gonna smell like a salon. I love it.
Guys, I have a little thing for you. Guess what? Making something smell good in a hair product is like the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life. And we're still trying to make it better. Like every year we make the scent better because it takes so much research and so many labs to make a good scent in a hair product. We've probably worked with like 5 labs at this point, and guess what? We are still trying to find the right ones. This is gonna shock you. There are certain color pigments that just smell really weird, and so you have to kind of mask that scent and then put your own scent on top of it. It is so confusing and so difficult to get right, but we are definitely working on it. I'm glad you like the scent, because it's not easy. Okay, so she's going on random sections and doing like purple and then blue and then pink, and everything is looking vibrant as shit. And another thing about X Monocolor is it kind of develops over time. Like it might start off a little lighter, but then as it stays on your hair, it gets a little darker.
She's purple, okay? She's purple.
She
Love
is.
it. Alright, so this is what we have so far. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, if you can't tell, I am doing like this, right?
Wow.
We have doing layer by layer like this.
I am loving how evenly she's getting this on her hair. From roots to ends, everything is perfectly covered and looking gorgeous. Yes! Makes me so happy. With any semi-permanent color, it's important that we get enough on the hair and really saturate those pieces roots to ends. Another thing you could do instead of doing horizontal sections is do diagonal sections, because it'll just make everything blend even better and give you that kind of like...
Telescopic mascara gives me extreme length and definition for every day, everywhere.
Fargo is your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo.
Oh, come on.
Fargo lets you do this.
Like the color changes in your hair as you look at it, instead of like everything being kind of color blocky. Did you get the visual when I said...
Almost done. Yes. And it's turning out so beautiful. I'm so excited. Alright, so for the bang area, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I don't want all of this one piece. I just feel like that one color, I feel like it would be too much. This piece I'm gonna make purple. Now my logic is I have pink here and I have turquoise here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this one purple because that would logically be the next one. The way I'm doing it is I just don't want to have like 2 colors directly next to each other, or like too much of one color in one place. And I will show you in a second as well, because it's getting very hard to really see what I'm doing because it just looks dark unless I look at the ends.
The colors are just directly touching each other, which is totally fine because X Monocolor has a thicker consistency, so you don't need to use foils and you can do all this intricate work without worrying if the color's gonna bleed onto another color. Unless you're using yellow, then maybe you should be a little bit concerned, but all these darker colors together are totally fine. This is a really creative way of sectioning the bangs too. She did like a diagonal through the bangs, which I think is really cool, and I think it's gonna make a cool effect of like the purple into the pink and the blues. It's just gonna be like this whole magical thing going on. I'm feeling it. I'm getting the vibes.
It looks really dark to me, but I feel like I'm doing okay.
The back has a lot going on. She put in the work off camera. I mean, there is colors everywhere. It is purple and blue and magical and looks really vibrant. Like that shit is coming through. Obviously her roots are
don't check nothing
than her ends because her ends are porous and her roots are her natural color.
It is just as much a mystery to me as it is to you right now. It looks pretty good. Only time will tell. Since there is so much blue on the front, like kind of surrounding my face, I'm gonna go with the pink and just make it pop. Even though there's pink here, I think, you know, it could work.
I think pink on that front section is perfect. I feel like the lighter colors always look better next to the face because you want the face to pop. You want all that attention up here, not back here. So yes,
ooh,
bright pink in the front and the blues and purple.
Yeah, those aren't for walking in.
Perfect decision.
So for the middle sectioning, also look at this little rag thing. It is covered. It's gonna be a beautiful tie-dye. I left the middle the way that it is on purpose because I'm trying to figure out how to finish the top, because you have to think about, or I have to think about, like the layering, the way it's gonna fall. So I kind of want to switch up from what I'm doing layers this way to doing layers like this, so that when they fall, they will be even on both sides, and then I think it'll just give it a bit better of a look.
Okay, that is definitely one way of doing it. That's gonna give like more of a stripy look. What I love to do with the top section is color it all one color. That way this one color lays on top of everything, and then when you curl your hair, it brings out all the different tones throughout, and it's such a little cool pop of color that like people don't expect. Or if you have your hair straightened and you like braid it, or you just move your hair side to side, you kind of uncover the stuff going on underneath, and it's like a peekaboo. It's just, I don't know, I love that. It's so fun. Ooh, we are going in with blue on the top. That is a bold choice, and I'm a little bit worried because, oh, and now we're switching to purple. But I was gonna say I'm a little worried because that blue is one of the lighter colors in this line, and going over that brown, I'm just a little worried it's not gonna pick up well, but we'll see. We'll definitely see.
It did take me like 2 hours to get all this on there. So I will be back in a little bit when this is done. I'm gonna rinse with cold water. I will see you for the final result. I'm so excited.
Holy shit, 2 hours is crazy, man. We're about to see the final results. My favorite time of all. Hopefully it doesn't look like shit. I don't think it will, but we'll see.
All right, this is the final result. What do you think?
Damn.
All right, so this is
Damn,
the
that looks
final
good.
result.
Holy shit! That is even more vibrant than what I was expecting. That looks beautiful. It's looking so good.
All right, we have some thoughts and some things to say. So first of all, my hair feels absolutely amazing. It's soft, it's beautiful, it's great.
There's bomb boosters, hyaluronic acid, proteins, oils, all kinds of amazing things in the product, by the way. So it's not only just a color, it is
Nice.
a high quality hair mask.
It's mostly purple and blue. It looks like the pink, aside from a few spots, you can really see it more in the front, and I think there's like maybe a couple of spots over here where you can really see the pink more. I definitely did put more pink strands than what you can see, so it seems like the pink kind of blended into the purple, and then the turquoise blended into the dark blue. So again, you can see some spots. The turquoise ones are where it shows more green at the top, and those spots is where the turquoise was. You can see a little bit of variation, but not as much as I would have liked. The purple and blue is definitely beautiful.
I don't think it was the color or you. I think it was just the base you're working with. I think some things blended with your existing color, like the existing yellow in your hair. Even when you have the yellow and you mix it with pink, you're not gonna get pink. You're not gonna get a true pink. It's gonna also be darker.
Okay, Alice is gone, so we can go back to watching the scary shit.
Natural color, which is a level 7 brown.
We pretty much take it all. Fridges and dishwashers and dressers, drawers, couches, mattresses, beds.
One Matt bought, they converted part of the basement into the occult museum, filled with items they claimed were tied to real cases, some allegedly involving violent deaths, demonic activity, or streaks of bad luck. Among them were voodoo dolls, satanic idols, funeral masks, and the infamous Annabelle. The Warrens insisted these objects were dangerous and warned against touching or moving them, especially Annabelle.
Don't ever touch anything, and if you do, let me know.
While the Warrens' work has long been controversial, with critics calling them sensationalists, even scammers, which we'll get more into later, some people believe there may be truth in some of these haunting incidents, which could mean trouble for Matt Rife. In early May 2005, the New England Society for Psychic Research, NESPR, launched the Devils on the Run tour, showcasing haunted artifacts from the Warrens Occult Museum, including Annabelle. Yes, a tour, meaning the artifacts the Warrens warned not to touch or move would be traveling across several states. And as it turned out, several cities experienced some unusual events. After Annabelle passed through New Orleans, Louisiana for their May 13th and 14th show, something shocking happened. Just one day later, on May 15th, the infamous Nottoway plantation went up in flames, destroying much of the structure. This 165-year-old antebellum mansion was the largest remaining plantation home in the South, and it carried a long, complicated history, built in 1859 by enslaved labor and held about 155 enslaved individuals. It's also frequently mentioned
hang on.
as
You know what? I had
Louisiana's
just
most
started it
haunted
and
places.
Alice was here, so...
We pretty much
We'll
take it all.
restart it because we were only
Fridges
2
and
minutes into it
dishwashers,
anyway.
dressers, drawers, couches, mattresses.
On August 1st, 2025, comedian Matt Rife went viral for announcing the purchase of one of the most dangerous collections of paranormal artifacts in the world.
I have just bought the Ed and Lorraine Warren's home and occult museum with my very good friend Elton Castay. We are the legal guardians and caretakers of all 750 haunted artifacts and items in the Warren Museum.
The museum that houses the infamous Annabelle doll.
Including the Annabelle doll.
And while he spoke with passion and a smile, thousands of viewers sent him warnings. Oh, you in danger. Are you insured? Don't touch nothing. Prayers. May the odds be ever in your favor. And some bidding their farewells.
This is the real Annabelle. The one locked in a glass case because even Lorraine Warren was scared of it. The one that inspired an entire horror franchise. The one tied to unexplained deaths, accidents, and full-on demonic encounters.
Of course, this sounds ridiculous, but the amount of people sharing their unusual stories is impossible to ignore.
Annabelle is the reason that I believe in evil.
With recent incidents tied to Annabelle's presence, where disaster seems to strike certain places she visits.
Found dead in his hotel room while he was on tour with the Annabelle doll.
And personal experiences of people who met the doll face to face. My life turned into a nightmare after meeting the real Annabelle doll. How much danger is Matt Rife really in? You see, Matt didn't just buy the Warrens' house and museum as a quiet admirer. He planned to turn it into entertainment.
And what this means for you guys is you are going to soon be able to book a night or a weekend and stay at the Warrens' house and investigate the house and the history of the house, as well as the museum and all the artifacts inside of it.
And while the artifacts inside the museum still belong to the Warren family, Matt and Elton became the legal caretakers of the artifacts for at least the next 5 years. Even Matt seemed aware of the potential danger.
This is the most random hobby ever, but it's so f***ing cool, man. I should probably collect stamps or something. Might be a little safer.
Now, for the first time in 6 years, Matt and Elton plan to reopen the Warrens' house and occult museum after it was shut down in 2019 because it's in a residential zone and was not approved for tourism. But the idea of a comedian making a profit off potentially haunted items and turning the Warrens' home into an Airbnb shocked the internet. While some defended him, just because he's a comedian doesn't mean he will make everything into a joke. He said he loves this stuff and will do everything respectful with it, which I can get behind. Plus, it's so cool to open this for overnight stays for big fans of the paranormal. Many people couldn't help but worry about the potential dangers associated with the Annabelle doll. The real Annabelle isn't porcelain like in the movies. It's a large Raggedy Ann doll. And according to the previous owners, the Warrens, it was first given to a nursing student in the 1970s who allegedly noticed it moving on its own, leaving strange notes, and even attacking a friend. The Warrens also alleged Annabelle wasn't possessed with the ghost of a little girl, but a demonic entity pretending to be one. They locked the doll in a glass case with a sign reading, "Positively do not open."
This is the worst thing in here. That job.
And the Warrens were a whole other story. Ed and Lorraine Warren were a husband and wife team who spent decades investigating alleged hauntings and collecting objects they believed were paranormal.
Everything and anything in here we have investigated.
In their Monroe, Connecticut home, the one Matt bought, they converted part of the basement into the occult museum, filled with items they claimed were tied to real cases, some allegedly involving violent deaths, demonic activity, or streaks of bad luck. Among them were voodoo dolls, satanic idols, funeral masks, and the infamous Annabelle. The Warrens insisted these objects were dangerous and warned against touching or moving them, especially Annabelle.
Don't.
It's hard to reach your goals when your teams are pulled in too many directions. With the sauna,
ever touch anything. And if you do, let me know.
While the Warrens' work has long been controversial, with critics calling them sensationalists, even scammers, which we'll get more into later, some people believe there may be truth in some of these haunting incidents, which could mean trouble for Matt Rife. In early May 2005, the New England Society for Psychic Research, NESPR, launched the Devils on the Run tour, showcasing haunted artifacts from the Warrens Occult Museum, including Annabelle. Yes, a tour, meaning the artifacts the Warrens warned not to touch or move would be traveling across several states. And as it turned out, several cities experienced some unusual events. After Annabelle passed through New Orleans, Louisiana for their May 13th and 14th show, something shocking happened. Just one day later, on May 15th, the infamous Nottoway plantation went up in flames, destroying much of the structure. This 165-year-old antebellum mansion was the largest remaining plantation home in the South, and it carried a long, complicated history. Built in 1859 by enslaved labor and held about 155 enslaved individuals. It's also frequently mentioned as Louisiana's most haunted places by both locals and visitors. Investigators stated the cause of the fire was due to faulty electrical wiring, but the timing of Annabelle passing through the city days earlier made people think twice.
Some people call it a coincidence, but look, in a city built on spirits, nothing burns without reason.
Especially considering the plantation's alleged shady behavior in modern day.
But recently, people noticed that it's been completely whitewashed. If you go on the website, there's nothing there that talks about the dark history of the place, and it's currently being used as a wedding venue. That is until Annabelle was there the other day and the whole thing burned down.
Even former employees spilled secrets.
I used to be a tour guide at Nottoway Plantation. Nottoway was not talking about history properly. The type of history that they were teaching there was a bunch of just headline stuff, framing John Randolph as a slave owner who wasn't that bad. And I absolutely refused to talk about that. And they really just wanted to be able to continue charging people $50,000 plus for weddings there.
Many people also pointed out the chilling imagery in the fire, writing, "Do you see the figures in the windows?" implying that Annabelle may have freed the enslaved spirits. Even though there was a discussion about the dangers of downplaying the real human suffering that happened at the plantation by using a supernatural scapegoat, one creator suggested,
if Annabelle did do it, then maybe she's not the villain. Maybe she's the anti-colonial queen that we didn't know we needed. And maybe, instead of demonizing her, we should be thanking her.
One day later, at midnight of May 16th, another unexpected incident occurred. 10 inmates escaped a New Orleans jail through a toilet wall. They ripped the toilet from the wall and broke the metal piping around it.
There are clean cuts here, and the plumbing had been removed.
They then made a run for it while the housing technician had stepped away for food. Above the escape route was a taunting message that said, "Too easy, lol," and "We innocent," which went viral online. The timing of the tour and fire the day before made people worry.
If y'all don't take Annabelle back where she was at!
Then, 3 more days later, on the morning of May 19th, another incident happened in New Orleans. Marie Laveau's former residence caught on fire, causing damage to half the home. Marie was known as one of the most famous voodoo practitioners in New Orleans in the 1800s. After her death, people used to visit her tomb to leave offerings and make wishes. It's now banned to do so because visitors caused damage to the site over time. While the current owner claimed the fire happened due to an accident,
What happened? The batteries to my pedicab exploded. Are you kidding me? So all we could do was get out.
many felt the timing with the Devils on the Run tour and the recent incidents might not be so coincidental. That's not all. At the next stop for the Devils on the Run tour on their May 17th and 18th show in San Antonio, Texas, people described another event. In this specific image with Annabelle, people claimed to see a face in the mirror behind the doll. To prove it wasn't AI, someone filmed the image from the physical camera.
This is a picture before, and here's his picture. And look, they're going to zoom it in for you on the camera itself. Now, what do you think of this? Do you actually think they caught the Annabelle spirit?
Some had suspicions it was a reflection of one of the people standing close to the doll. others disagreed, arguing it didn't look human. This could be a fluke, such as distortion caused by the mirror, angle, and lighting. But then people pointed out a similar situation in another photo, this time involving the new caretakers of Annabelle, Matt and Elton.
See this picture with Annabelle, the actual doll?
Did anyone else catch
Nice,
that
Sam.
in the photo of Matt Rife and Annabelle?
Something doesn't sit right with me.
There's a demon in it. If you look over his shoulder and next to the Annabelle doll, you see the two eyes in the shape of a face and a little body down this way?
However, again, not everyone was on board with this. Nothing. I see nothing. What are we looking at? It's literally his shadow. However,
Artless AI voiceover feature allows you to turn your words into voices you never thought you had.
one of the most devastating incidents happened during the Gettysburg, Pennsylvania 3-day show, taking place from July 11th to 13th, 2025. On the first day, in the middle of their day show around 2 to 3 p.m. local time, Pennsylvania experienced a 911 outage.
Breaking news impacting 911 calls across the state of Pennsylvania. There is an intermittent statewide 911 system outage,
which made people wonder if this was really a coincidence.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence that the doll from hell just happened to enter y'all's state, and then suddenly y'all can't call the cops anymore. Yeah, I'm sure that's all just weird coincidence.
Then, things took a dark turn on the last show on July 13th. Dan Rivera, one of the hosts, passed away suddenly in his hotel. Emergency responders performed CPR, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Dan Rivera was known as the senior lead for the NESPR and had spent years educating the public about the alleged dangers of the Warrens' haunted artifacts. But it was only when taking part in a traveling exhibit that he met his tragic end. There's actually this video of Dan putting on protective gloves that were supposedly blessed by a priest, then removing Annabelle from her original wooden box to a smaller one. Yes, the box that says, positively, do not open, was opened. Though police ruled Dan's cause of death as natural, and some people explained it could be an underlying health issue from possibly working too much, paranormal believers thought this might have to do with Mrs. Warren's warning to not move or touch anything in the museum. Some even thought the dark history associated with the location of Gettysburg's show, the National Soldiers' Orphans Homestead, may have contributed to the string of unusual events. The building in Gettysburg that they held the Annabelle viewings in was extremely inappropriate and disrespectful. It was an old orphanage used after the Civil War, ran by a woman who was known for severely mistreating the children there. I've been there in person on a tour as a teenager, and the overwhelming sense of dread and evil I felt upon entering the basement caused me to have to excuse myself from the tour. If they truly believed in the paranormal, why would they put a literal demon in the same place where the spirits of innocent children are likely trapped, with others even sharing unusual activity during her presence? I live in Pittsburgh, and the opening day, I watched the live stream before Annabelle got there on the Facebook page of the organization hosting the doll at the orphanage, and they had placed a bell on the stand where she would sit, and it was ringing non-stop. But what if we told you regular citizens who interacted with Annabelle have also creepy experiences after interacting with the doll? Those who attended the Devils on the Run tour in Gettysburg claimed it definitely made its presence known during the investigation, and have had things throughout all 3 days, becoming over-emotional, sick, fatigued, overall uneasy feeling, and have had 4 people say they were touched, so it's definitely made itself known. I was there with my family. We all felt sick. Weak legs, tunnel vision, and fatigue. Felt better after about a half hour. It was like a wave of uneasiness. Very interesting. Backtrack. When the last group entered the area where Annabelle was, I went over to shut the door, turned around to start setting the orphanage back up for tours afterward, and smelled lilacs in an area about 8 feet from the door I shut. Asked one of my teammates to come over and see if they smelled anything. They didn't. Another attendee said she noticed Annabelle move. I saw someone else's post who went, and I compared their pictures to mine, and her hands had moved. I can't find the woman who took the other picture right now, but the one on the right I took, and the one on the left she took later. And while details of the terrifying experience were not provided, an old connection to the doll alleged, I can tell you with 100% certainty it is true. My husband worked with the nurse who owned the doll. She was not someone who would make anything up, and she is still terrified. But there was one alleged experience that was worse than the rest. The case of Marisa Martinez, who claimed she mocked Annabelle in person, and then her life became a nightmare. Back on October 29th, 2016, Marisa went to an evening with Annabelle in Monroe, Connecticut. The evening was hosted by Tony Spera, son-in-law of Ed and Lorraine Warren. Guests dined, viewed artifacts like the Shadow Doll and Conjuring Mirror, and ended the night face-to-face with the real Annabelle doll. Before unveiling her, Tony issued a warning: don't mock Annabelle. He claimed a man once laughed at her,
the bot's
then
still
left
being
the
a
event
dick.
and got into a serious accident on his motorcycle and was found dead. Marisa said she tried to listen to the warning, but as she stood in line for her photo, the thought slipped. I mocked her. In my mind, I thought about how hideous she looked inside her box. What followed, she insists, wasn't a coincidence. First came physical injuries and a sudden cockroach infestation in her new apartment. She said the roaches were allegedly coming from her next-door neighbor, an elderly woman who always wore the same long blue dress and loved to stare for uncomfortable amounts of time. The elderly lady was later evicted, but the bugs multiplied until her home became unlivable. Then came the unexplained illness. Marisa recalled waking up at 3 a.m. with the sharpest of pains in her stomach, rushed to the ER only for doctors to find nothing wrong. Soon after, she developed a chronic cough that 9 doctors' visits and 5 specialists later, no one could diagnose. Things only got stranger from here. Marisa heard mysterious crinkling noises at night. Her dog became violently ill. And one humiliating night, she woke up to find her entire face covered in his crap. Her family and friends laughed it off, but for Marisa, it was her breaking point. Even after moving, she claimed she was still plagued by more roaches. She had objects constantly fall from shelves, always Annabelle-related collectibles, and even a terrifying attempted break-in that left her hiding in the bathroom with her sister and dog until police arrived. Finally, Marisa said she purged her life of anything tied to the Annabelle dinner. Her outfit, purse, phone, souvenirs, even the photo with Annabelle. Only then did things improve. Marisa ended her PSA with a message and a photo. I deleted the photos off my social media page from an evening with Annabelle. As I still love horror, I'm reluctant to post anything horror-related on my platforms due to a subconscious or even a conscious fear of the situation repeating itself. I had to dig through my trash and archives to find the photos of me and Annabelle. Tread lightly. If you stare at the photo, whatever you do, don't mock her. Attached was a photo of Marisa and Annabelle. But when you hear the names Ed and Lorraine Warren, you often also hear that they're frauds and scammers. So what's the actual truth? Some people believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. On one hand, some believe at least Lorraine Warren had supernatural gifts. Lorraine definitely had the gift. My mom lived in Connecticut, unknowingly bartending at a restaurant Lorraine was a regular at. One day at work, Lorraine pulled my mother aside and told her David, my deceased brother, watched over her. Believe what you may, but I'd like to think Lorraine was being genuine. But on the flip side, many also had questionable experiences with people the Warrens worked with. Their son-in-law, Judy's husband, Tony Spera, not a fan. I believe he saw nothing but dollar signs from the start. When Lorraine became extremely elderly yet still doing her shows, he would speak over her every chance he could. She had that frail old lady voice. She would try telling her stories on things she's seen, felt, etc., and he would speak as if he was there. It was disgusting to say the least. An ex-employee also called out several big names. I worked closely with NESPR for 2.5 years. I was let go due to jealousy and my questions about their practices. From my experience, Tony Spera is dishonest and doesn't believe in the paranormal. It's just a way for him to make money. NESPR never had a priest bless anything in the museum, and it's all a gimmick to profit from Ed and Lorraine's legacy. Tony Spera is a snake oil salesman, and Dan Rivera is a thief. Chris Gillerin is just in it for the money. And don't even get me started on Wade Kirby. NESPR is a traveling circus, and I feel bad for the blind followers wasting their money. Even the Warrens themselves had their own issues. These are 3 of the wildest debunked cases to show why many people no longer believe in the Warrens or those supporting them. 1. The Amityville horror case. In 1975, the Lutz family moved into a home in Amityville, Long Island, the same house where killer Ronald Defoe Jr. murdered 6 members of his family the year before. But after nearly a month, The Lutz family fled, claiming the house was crawling with demonic forces. The story went public, and a year later, in 1976, the Warrens were brought in to investigate. The Warrens held a seance with a TV crew, claimed the house was infested with demons, and used the case for years as proof of their work. But the story was debunked. William Weber, the killer's defense attorney, later admitted, "We created this story over many bottles of wine." He said he and the Lutz family made up the story to help sell a book and maybe get the killer a new trial. 2. The Haunting in Connecticut case. The Warrens hired horror author Ray Garton to write a book about a supposedly haunted funeral home in Southington, Connecticut. This later inspired the film The Haunting in Connecticut. But Ray noticed the family's stories didn't match up. When he asked Ed Warren what to do, Ed allegedly said, "Just use what you can and make up the rest. Just make it up and make it scary." Ray has repeated this in interviews and essays, saying the Warrens didn't care about accuracy and just wanted something marketable. 3. The Enfield poltergeist case. The Enfield case in London, 1977 to 1979, is what The Conjuring 2 was based on. And in the movie, the Warrens are the stars of the investigation, but in reality, they weren't central to the case. According to the lead researcher, Guy Lyon Playfair, the Warrens turned up once, and Ed told him that he could make a lot of money for me out of it. Guy rejected the Warrens, and was annoyed that Hollywood later rewrote the story to make the Warrens look like heroes. But just because the Warrens gave a bad name to the paranormal community, that shouldn't discredit all the paranormal experiences, right? Psychic medium and paranormal investigator Aria Michaels claimed to have met Annabelle twice at the Warrens Occult Museum, showing a receipt for at least one of those visits. Aria explained she did not take photos with Annabelle because she did not want to associate with her intense energy.
2 times that I was in the Warren Occult Museum, and I was, very close to that that box that they had up on the wall that was holding Annabelle. I could not look directly at her. I'm speechless when I try to describe my interactions with her because they're not of this world. So I was unable to look directly at her.
She claimed the artifacts from the Occult Museum were nothing compared to Annabelle.
So yeah, most of the pieces in the museum, I felt absolutely nothing coming from them, and I felt like a lot of it was really sort of propaganda. But not Annabelle. Annabelle is the reason that I believe in evil.
Aria tried to explain the type of energy she felt.
I at one point in time had my back turned to her, but was very close to the box. It was only maybe about 3 feet away from me, and I could feel this intense, hot pressure, like boring into the back of my head. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced. It had this feeling of the primordial evil. If you've ever looked up at the night sky and you're like, wow, I feel so small, multiply that by like 1,000,000. And that's how I felt standing next to Annabelle. There was something very ancient about the amount of power that she possesses.
So, how much danger are Matt and Elton in after becoming the caretakers of Annabelle and hundreds of other supposedly haunted artifacts? Well, if you believe the shadowy figure in their Annabelle photo is demonic, and if you consider the major backlash Matt received on a recent campaign with Elf Cosmetics as the start of his potential downfall, then it's possible that the upcoming chain of events could be intense. But for skeptics, all these incidents with the tour and with Matt Rife might just be a string of bad luck. For believers, it's only the beginning. While you're here, check out our video on the viral T app made for women to share red flags about men when dating, but has now taken a dark turn. And consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Your support means a lot to us and helps us continue to create videos like these.
Nah, BJ. BJ did a drug test. Nice.
Order, please, please. We need to talk about, there's some lies going around. There's some lies going around about me, and it's led me to have to take a hair follicle drug test to clear my good name. But before we get into the results of that, how did we get here? Please do not send any hate or honestly comments of any kind to anyone mentioned in this video on behalf of me or yourself. The purpose of this video is to give my commentary and opinion on matters of public concern. Thank you. Okay. So, who is it that's making these allegations, you may be wondering? Well, this person alleges and purports to be, and is known to be, a victim, a survivor of Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. This person alleges that she was and that she saw and she remembers getting pew-pewed in the face by Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. She has really been, very public about her story. She testified against him, I believe, in the trial against him back in 2000 or so, 1999. It came out of that shooting, the Shine nightclub shooting, whatever. I've had her on the channel before, on my other channel, That Surprise Witness. She was on a live stream. I really liked her. I enjoyed her on the channel. She provided a lot of perspective. I respected her. I was very nice to her and genuinely did like her, and I enjoyed the conversation that we had. I mean, in my opinion, somewhat out of the blue, a couple months ago, this was back in June, she made a YouTube video on her YouTube channel, and again, please don't contact anybody mentioned here. This video is to clear my name because there's been some very, very harmful false statements made that's literally led me to have to come and make this video. Statements were made as if they were facts, which were not true at all. So don't send any hate. But she makes this video, and I'm kind of thinking, this is a little bit out of nowhere. June 17 called YouTube Blackout. What are these content creators up to? At one point, she straight up just calls me out. She issues a challenge to her audience to go and check. What did she exactly say? Something about going to check in the last 2 months. If any of these people have said her name.
And I'm gonna start calling the name because y'all know the names. Tisa Tells, Mims on Make It Make Sense, BJ Investigate. Y'all see my nail? I hit my finger the other day.
Girl, why as soon as she said y'all see my nail, she flipped her middle finger up? And it was as soon as she said BJ Investigates, that's when she noticed it and had to flip the camera off. See, God don't like ugly. Pop that nail off, just like how Kelsey Harris's nail got popped off in that street, allegedly, or maybe not, I don't know. Have you been following the Tory Lanez case? There's a very contentious pink acrylic nail that popped off in the street. It's very contentious.
BJ Investigate. Y'all see my nail? I hit my finger the other day. Oh my God, my finger was bleeding so badly. Broke my nail. But BJ Investigates, or That Surprise Witness. There's quite a few other ones, but those are the top names I'm gonna call. Because I've been on their shows, and now all of a sudden, they don't even say the name. They act like it doesn't exist. Go on their channels, do a search, and tell me when they've said my name in the last 2 months. The last 3 months, you will not find it. Since this trial started, you will not find it because they are collectively, I don't know, upon my own opinion and belief, drop that disclaimer, my own opinion and belief, they are not saying my name. You know why? Because why would they want to send people over here? Because people who are new to the case or not well versed, if they hear something like, there's a woman who Puffy shot? Oh my God. Let me go hear what she has to say. They don't want to drive attention my way. That's that punk hater. Excuse my French. Forgive me, Father God. I'm going to call it what it is. That's that punk hater. And you know me, I'm a truth teller. I cry aloud and spare not. So I don't have no time to sit here and not call the names.
Okay, then this person goes into a longer, I don't know, we'll say monologue about, frankly, it's delusions, because I had no desire. How many months ago was this? I didn't even say anything about it. But that challenge, she said, go and see, type it in and search it. What's the most, last time they talked about me in the last 2 months? I bet you they didn't, or whatever. You just heard her say it. Okay. See the date on that? June 17th. So the last 2 months would have been any time since April 17th, right? Okay. Well, here's a video right here that premiered May 21st. It's just a couple weeks, just a few weeks before. Challenged people to go and check. When's the last time I said her name? Well, let's check this part of this video out right here. It's called Free Diddy Protesters Paid $20 in Diddy Coins. She alleges that she is a victim of Diddy from that Shine nightclub shooting. Now, Shine took the fall, but she has always maintained since like the 90s or like early 2000s, whatever, Diddy was the one who had the pew-pew. Diddy was the one who fired it, and Diddy is the one who left fragments of it in her skull to this day. She said, I know what I saw, and it was Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. She says during that trial, for that, there was all kind of stuff with the Free Diddy, and she called it like the Harlem Street Gang, Harlem Street Crew, or something like that. They would go down with boomboxes, shirts, this, that, the other. And, every time Diddy gets in trouble, this happens. Witnesses, this is her, what she said. Witnesses get messed with, go missing, stuff like that. And so it's like, well, her previous statements do seem to be a little bit more kind of supported at this point with this people getting paid. Now, listen, So as y'all can see, the video where I just said all of that stuff, praising her genuinely and, you know, rightfully, I mean, it was just a few weeks before. So again, I was fine to let that go. But the false allegations didn't end there. It actually got much worse and more egregious. So in that very same video, she says a few more things. You know, yeah, she says here to provide proof.
See, I'm not here to play games. I'm gonna cry aloud and spare not, because any one of the people I've mentioned, if they are not ignoring me and they've said my name, tell me what episode. Tell me. And tell me if I'm not lying that they have made a collective blackout. What is the price of your integrity, Tisa? What's the price of your integrity, Mims? What's the price of your integrity, BJ? What's the price of your integrity, Ticket? How come y'all all of a sudden got amnesia? Well, listen, I'm not trying to be nobody's favorite, nothing, but I know what I know and I sees what I sees. What y'all up to? What are y'all up to? What nefarious activities are y'all up to?
Then she gives another kind of weird challenge, telling people to super chat me and says, go over there and try to say my name, super chat her and try to get her to say my name. And she guarantees, we'll put the clip in here, but something, you know, BJ's not going to say my name.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Put your investigative hat on, LaToya. I guarantee you won't find it. If you do find it, it'll be dated today going forward. If they endeavor to do so, prove me wrong. Everybody within the sound of my voice that had the intention of sending me a super chat, by all means, if you'd like to, continue to do so. However, go to each one of these people's respective channel and put a $1.99 super chat in and say, how come I never hear you talk about anymore? And let's see if they say it. And don't just at them, say, hey, BJ, what about... I don't hear you talk about her anymore. Isn't that your friend? Wasn't she on your show? Say it. I guarantee you your super chat gets ignored, but they'll read everyone else. Somebody will send a super chat that says, twinkle, twinkle, little star. They'll read it. Oh, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Thank you for the super chat. I guarantee you they ignore yours. I guarantee you. And for those who want to say it with their chest, throw it on a $20 super chat. I bet you they ignore it. I bet you they don't read it.
And it's like, I genuinely don't know why she believed that I was like trying to not say her name. I literally, weeks before she made that video, I did give her credit. It was just, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe she doesn't actually watch my videos. Maybe someone told her that. I really don't know, but it was perplexing to me because I also wasn't avoiding saying her name. And so just, you know, in true fashion, her followers did come to my channel, and many of them are my followers. Some people only know about her because she was on my channel or because I'm always hyping her up and talking about how things that she said happened in the past are now happening again. I'm before she started doing all this crazy stuff, accusing me of this insane stuff that we about to get into, I was doing that regularly. Now, I mean, I don't really trust her discernment, and you'll see why, so I can't really send nobody over there. But like, people did show up in my chat trying to get me to say her name, and I did. And I still to this day think that what she's been doing is a good thing. So I just, this is just, it's like a created conflict out of nothing for no reason. You know, she said some other stuff, like kind of, I felt like it was a little threatening, like everyone that she's ever been on the phone with, she has phone call recordings, including everybody she's named. We've never been on the phone.
But here's the thing. I know a snake when I see a snake. Let me say right now, for all of the people whose names I've called out, and there are some others, and all of the content creators who, if you've ever picked up the phone and called me and had a discussion with me, I recorded you. I recorded the entire conversation. And then after I got off the phone, I listened to it again, and I made notes for minutes and second marker notes. And I have it in a book. So I can revisit it anytime. So if I'm lying, try me out. You know, I'll come back. Try me. Every single one of you that I've ever talked to, that I called their names, I recorded you. So try come and disrespect me. Come and swear up and down that I'm a liar. Even the person who said there's a YouTube mafia. Tell me I'm lying. I'll play it. Listen, I'll play them. Play them. I live in a single party consent. I'll put the YouTube fair use guideline up. I live in a single party consent state. I could play. So try your best.
So I don't know if that was supposed to be implying that she had recorded me on a phone call. I mean, okay. So is the CIA and the FBI and every one of my ops, most likely. They probably, Rock Nation probably hacked in at this point. So, I mean, I hope y'all are having a good time listening in to nothing. It's just too much. It really, truly, it kind of hurt my feelings. But it's just like, if I'm a liar, call me out. Well, I don't know if she's a liar, but she was certainly mistaken at the least. So then she makes this next video a few weeks later, July 7th, called Karen Said What, in which she starts to sympathize with Diddy supporters. This is a stark and sudden turn in contrast because,
You know what's smart? Truffle butter filet mignon without lifting a finger. Eat smart with Factor.
She claims to be a Diddy victim, and I do believe she is. Why would she be teaming up with people, collaborating with people, having people on her channel that's Diddy supporters if she's mad at me that I'm not trying to send people over to her channel? I don't know. It just, something seems weird about her teaming up with Diddy supporters. But it was with those people, the Diddy supporters, who had their little line racket going. In my opinion, it was a racket. And they, tried to cut me out of the line and all that. I don't really feel like getting into the details of that right now. I do have the documentary coming at some point. And then when's it coming? I know y'all are asking. You're just on the edge of your seat waiting for the documentary. I'm gonna tell you the documentary is coming whenever I feel like. So who knows? I don't even know when. Definitely not right now. Not today. Today you get this. But she's on here, I guess, with her friend. Karen Said What? Cutting through the lies outside the Diddy trial. And this person who, again, I'd been nice to. I had, as y'all saw, put her story out there. I had done all these other things, indicating my true feelings that I liked her and respected her. When she had these issues, these problems come up, she didn't contact me. It just, all of a sudden, I just get wind that she thinks all kinds of false things. It's just very strange to me. And it does continue to happen. It's very strange. But here she is acting like she was in the line. She's acting like she saw it all and she knows what happened. She wasn't there. False things. She said so many things that were completely and utterly false. Some things, racially vicious, race-based comments that I think it's like, it's 2025. Like, can we move beyond? But then, all that stuff, I'm pretty much willing to let it go. But then she says this.
I said it weeks ago. I see a problem. I'm telling you, to a point where God even showed me something else. People powdering their nose right on live. What?
Who was powdering their nose on live?
BJ.
Are you serious?
I promise to God, with a makeup brush constantly. I got shot in my nose. My nose is sensitive. I don't touch my nose that much. You might see me wipe my nose. No, I don't have a cold. Sometimes my nose will still get this weird kind of, it's a combination of numb and tingly. And that happens, it's easy for me to just wipe my nose because once I touch it, it soothes the nerves. That's where my entry wound is, my nose.
Yeah.
I touch my nose that much. For someone to take a makeup brush and be constantly powdering their nose, I noticed her.
I just thought that she was just doing her makeup, child. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't even think that. Like,
whole beat. One day I was sitting on the couch and God said, "You don't see that in front of you?" What? He's like, "Look closely."
Wow.
Whatever.
That's crazy.
And then I noticed frequency with which she seemed like she was. You know what? Listen, K-Leg, please put the disclaimer in the chat. Let me put it up on the screen.
I was gonna say, you gotta be careful, girl.
You got a whole here, girl. I remind folks every day of my First Amendment right, my inalienable right to free speech, my right. Oh, I'm a legal expert. I tell you, I stand firmly on God. What I don't tolerate against you, me, or anybody else is disrespect. And here's why I know it was a fact, what I said.
Okay.
Put my disclaimer up first.
She even said, here's why I know it was a fact. Okay, but just baseline defamation, okay? Stating something that's false and harmful as if it's a fact. And she's going to get into it right here in this video and how she knows it was a fact on what she said.
The views expressed by the Joker's Nerd are protected by the First Amendment right of the United States.
It's funny.
Thank you, my love.
It's hilarious to make shit up.
I can come to play. I came to stay.
If she didn't come to play, I do wonder why she's acting so clownish.
Because I'm here about my father's business, and I'm not going to take any fool.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a love fest. When you get to a place that has an organized structure and system, policy and procedure, and people have been in place for time immemorial, and that structure has been running, you don't get to come the last day of the gravy train and we know what Columbus is. That's coming and planting your flag on the new land and saying, I've discovered America.
No, honey, we didn't hear. You didn't discover nothing.
So then she said some other ridiculous thing. And then, she asked God to strike content creators that went against her. Oh, my Lord, girl.
Tell me a child of God did this.
Just to be clear about this AI, these demons, somebody asked Grok, and it wasn't me. Somebody else asked Grok to show what these people's souls looks like on the inside, and that is what it came up with. Okay, I did not make that. So I agree, it's not a child of God, that's a demon, and that's what I was continuously saying, and I still believe. Try to keep up. Like, it's just wrong fact after wrong fact.
Like I told y'all, all those content creators that came against me, I got down on my face and prayed to God.
Y'all, I think that I'm the content creators. Like, she's saying the content creators are going against her. Like, it's just simply not true. Like, maybe some other people are in a group going against her, but I did not do that. And in fact, and indeed, it's provably, demonstrably false based on the evidence I showed y'all earlier. Go look that video up yourself right now. I was giving her her flowers. I was checking in with the boss.
I didn't tell him to harm them. I didn't bring cry for no harm. I prayed. I said, Father God, reveal all of them that were a part of this dirty deed and expose them to the world for what they did and for all of their misdeeds. Not only did he expose them all,
Which content creators are you talking about?
There was a bunch of content creators that gathered around. They got in a consortium to block me out. They didn't want anybody to subvert my channel, to block me out. They didn't want any coverage to go to me because.
Well, I wasn't in that for sure.
Here's what my assessment of it was. They felt that because I was his actual survivor, that when they thought I was going to cover the trial every day. I keep telling them, I'm the only person in this thing involuntarily. I'm the only one here, and I didn't ask to be here. He shot me in my face, and it drew me inexplicably connected to his life. I didn't ask to be. Everybody else came to this of their own free will.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So that was pretty much that for that video. And then she does make, again, I say nothing. I say nothing. She says it's a fact that I'm powdering my nose. I say nothing. And instead of just letting it go, she, for some reason, decides to continue making these false statements. She mentions the powdering the nose again. And just off the bat, I don't have to really explain shit to anybody. But I have said why I use the powder puff to powder my nose. It's because I have very sensitive skin and I'm allergic to most things, including my makeup, this microphone cover, all kind of stuff. I'm a sensitive person. I can't even be outside longer than a few minutes before a poison ivy or a bee or the sun. I'm like an indoor cat, okay? So I'm allergic to everything. And air conditioning and pollen and dust and this and that, and it just itches. So instead of scratching my nose and wiping all my makeup off, which I have absolutely done, my nose turns red. I was live during the Diddy trial, so I was scratching my nose and sometimes fixing my makeup because I'm live 4 hours, 6 hours, sometimes close to 8 hours. Sometimes I'm actually powdering, the grease on my forehead. Sometimes I'm putting a little powder on there. I thought that was allowed. But it's like, no, she's rubbing freaking cocaine on her nose. And then she doubles down. Like, listen, we'll get into whether or not I've ever done that in my life, which the answer is no. But I'm told by people who have and who have familiarity with it, if you're rubbing that on your nose, straight directly on your nose, grinding it in with a powder brush, hours and hours and hours a day for 2 months, you would not have a nose left. It would disintegrate the skin off the front of you. You have the necrosis. I don't know if that's true. I don't. But that's not even an optimal way. Did that ever happen, or was it just it was transmuting it through the nose pores, or was it just to lie on my name? Something I have never done and would never do to this person. Let's see what she said at this 1 hour and 9 minutes. I mean, it's the whole freaking, what was this 4-hour live stream about me? Still, I said nothing. I do think it was right around this point where I was like, I might need to say something.
Yeah.
As soon as I pointed out that I was made to be aware by God of her taking a powder puff constantly and dusting her nose, and I was like, God said, you don't see that? And I was like, what? And powdering her nose on, who does that? What is that about? What is that about? As soon as I mentioned it, she stopped.
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
God. This is the second time she brings God into this. And it won't be the last. An hour goes by, 54 and a half minutes or so goes by, and she's just got to remind everyone God told her.
Did you come and meet a pair of lashes and wigs standing in the line, or did you meet a woman who can adorn herself however she wants? Same way you be sitting up there powdering your nose on TV, powdering your nose on TV. And I don't mean applying makeup. I said what I said. Powdering your nose right on that screen.
She went full screen to double down on the false accusation. This is the third video she made that allegation. Accusation. Like, notwithstanding the fact that I'm pretty sure you can't just rub on your fucking nose and get high. It's almost as if people can't even fathom just like working really hard and being on live all day just because it's like, even though you're tired, you just keep going. It must be something else. And it can't just be an accusation coming from her. It can't be I heard somewhere. It has got to be God told her.
Powdering her nose right on that screen. Y'all heard the term powdering my nose?
I never heard it till this.
Where do you think that was created from?
I think it was created from the 1920s when the women would get up and go to the bathroom and put powder on their nose because they didn't want to look greasy because there was no central air. That's what I heard.
Them people in the past over there in the far reaches of the internet and society and time and space.
I don't know if it was like the demon possessed her at that moment. Like her whole voice and everything just changed. I don't know what that was about.
Powdering your nose. I know what I'm talking about because the behavior stopped. If it was nothing wrong with it, you'd be powdering your nose still, but you ain't touched that powder puff since I mentioned that publicly. God showed it to me.
Another completely false statement. I have never stopped picking up the brush. I need to get a new one.
I saw you doing it. I never studied. I never paid attention to it.
I don't know what this weird like code switch is. Like I've never heard this accent at all. It's like whenever the lying demon comes out, that's when that accent comes out.
I was sitting there and God said, you don't see that? And I was like, what? And he was like, in front of your face. You don't see that. And I was like,
And I was like, what, God? Right there. That woman powdering her nose. It was God. God just came into the living room.
And I was like, looking at the live, like, what? And he said, right in front of your face, look closely. And then I looked, and then I was like,
God said it, y'all. Hilarious.
Now, why would somebody be powdering their face if you're not applying makeup? The beat was already done. Why would somebody be tapping a powder puff at the side and dusting their nose while they're sitting on while they're 7 hours into their session?
Maybe their nose itched crazy. And you can see the harm that she's doing right here in the chat. Look, that's ungodly, people are saying. She on that stuff. No lies detected. No lies detected, but was any detected? We're going to find out just as soon as we get into this hair follicle test. Because I took one. Yes, I did. Okay, did it in there? You might be wondering. No, it didn't. It sure didn't. There's just actually more. There's actually more. And this is what God's favorite has to deal with on a daily basis. So come to find out, I had also been mentioning her, other times throughout the trial. I never joined
I'm not doing
any
cocaine.
collusion.
I have
I never
allergies.
joined any group. I'm not
Sorry.
in a group chat with any YouTubers. I'm not even in one group chat. I don't have a Discord. And if I'm live 7, 8, 9 hours a day, you can best believe, I don't think I've ever been live 9 hours a day. That might have been an exaggeration. If I'm live 4 hours a day, you can best believe I'm not like kikiing all day, all night with the group chat. I never joined a collusion to exclude her. In fact and indeed, I had mentioned her name whenever she kept saying that there was a mafia that had a plan against her. I don't know if it was delusion. I don't know if it was paranoia. I don't know if it was straight up lies and bullying just to be mean. I don't know. But none of that was true. And the way that she said it with such conviction, it was God. It was God. maybe some of y'all already know, maybe some of y'all don't, you know, the way that my dad died. I have reason to believe she knows the way that my dad died. It was drug overdose. Okay, so it was a pretty nasty and low down insulting thing to even speculate. Just because other people are, I don't know, maybe too lazy to fathom getting off their ass and doing something all day doesn't mean that somebody else is on. So I went down to the LabCorp and I got myself a hair follicle test. It was very expensive. It was more than $500. No, insurance did not cover it because I have a reputation to uphold. I have a brand to protect. More importantly, I'm a little concerned with the truth. You know, 1 video, 2 video, 3 video, 4, not speculating, but saying that she had the First Amendment right to lie, to say something untrue. And you know what really scares me? Whatever it is in the hell that's talking to her ain't God. It ain't God, and I rebuke. Here's the results. Here's the results. Let's look at them. You'll see one positive result. You know what that's from? Vyvanse. Let me get the bottle out just because this is what I have to do now. Let me get the bottle out. Here it is. Here it is right here. I'll post a picture of it once I take out all my personal identifying information. But here's the thing.
Fall is fast approaching. Shop end-of-season outdoor deals at Ashley during the Labor Day sale, where you'll...
People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones because I never asked for proof of anything she said. But here's some proof. Here's some proof. Here's the results right here. Okay, let's just go through these results real quick. Now, this is a hair follicle test. Okay, so the hair follicles would go back 90 days, 3 months. So they go back all the way to April. The Diddy trial started in May. May 5th, I believe, jury selection started. May 12th, I believe, the trial, the opening statements, if I recall correctly, but it started in May. So these hair follicle results would cover every single moment I was on live stream from the Diddy trial. So let's take a look at the important category first, shall we? That would be... I didn't know exactly powdering your nose was some type of street slang, some type of, I don't know, code word for... But I guess it is. So let's go to that line right there. Do you see what the hair follicle result says for... That would be negative. I already told y'all about the Vyvanse. That's the positive result right there. Barbiturates, negative. Benzodiazepines, negative. I haven't even taken a freaking Xanax, not a Ativan, not a Klonopin, prescribed or otherwise, much less methadone, negative. Opiates, negative. Whatever in the hell propixapine is, negative. All of this I had to do. Laughing. I didn't come to play. Leaving aside for one moment the level of like depraved and demonic you have to be to laugh and make that type of allegation about someone who lost a parent. He won't be at my wedding. He won't meet a single grandchild, not one, because of drugs. So let's just leave aside for the callousness that it requires for someone to make a statement just even that one time like that. But to laugh and continue to say it to person after person who comes on the live stream, God said it? That isn't God, baby girl. And I rebuke whatever in the hell it is, because it ain't God. And I ain't on cocaine. I think that's pretty much all I had to say for this one. Please do not send any hate to anyone mentioned in today's video. This video and the purpose of it was to report on the truth, which is that I did not do on the live stream, and I would never do that. In fact and indeed, never once in my life have I done cocaine. Never, not once.
Don't piss off BJ.
And certainly not in the 90 days depicted in this test. Now, I'll accept an apology and a retraction in just as loud of a forum as the false accusations, or not. Doesn't really make a difference to me because God will take care of me. That's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, but lies might be. Love you, Mina K. Bye.
Did we catch up on everything? Think so. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to that.
Milagro saying she's a liar.
Ah, that's where it was.
We're going to talk about no particular order, but these are going to be the topics that we're going to get into today. Okay, the Lil Nas X story. I don't anticipate that one's going to take too long. Yes, we are going to talk about the French streamer. I have some thoughts on that. We are also going to talk about Jillian Michaels from, she's a fitness trainer from The Biggest Loser. Remember that show that ran for so long or whatever, where they would have people and like lose weight. I have made a video about that before on one of my channels I used to have, but there's been this Netflix documentary. It came out. It's a 3-part docu-series, and it's kind of, I'll get into my opinions about it, but it didn't make Jillian Michaels look too good. Okay. So she's now threatened to sue Netflix. I think she's going to be suing them. We're going to talk about Eric Adams, because on the same day, what a news cycle. On the very same day, Eric Adams, there was this scandal coming out this morning, or maybe it was late last night, that a news reporter, and we're going to get into this story, was handed a potato chip bag full of cash. A news reporter was handed cash disguised in a potato chip bag. And who handed them this cash? None other than one of Eric Adams' election campaign aides. And not only that, act of alleged bribery, and we will get into the details. We're going to read some stories about that. But there's a whole nother bribery scandal going on with one of Eric Adams' top aides ever. Now, this is right on the heels of him having facing his own charges, but then those got dropped. But now we got some new activity going on with him. That potato chip bag, we're going to pull up the potato chip bag in question. Look at it. What else? Okay, yes, we're going to also talk about that baby dress with the weird, sayings on it. We're going to talk about the baby clothes. We may talk also about Brian Kohberger. I think that's going to come up today. He's facing some troubles. This is the Idaho 4, one that pled guilty. And what else we're going to talk about? We might talk about Nicki Minaj's School for Girls. Maybe. I don't know. This is the maybe list. I don't know which one of these things we're going to get to for sure. But also, what else do I have here? Oh, you have some thoughts on the guy that didn't shake hands with the lady or whatever. So maybe I'll get to that if I feel like it. Okay. Before we get into any of that, first things first, do you have your passports? Did you get your shots? No, Becky, I have not been following. I know Rabbit was. There's also a little baby missing. I don't want to speak anything negative out into existence, okay? But given that family's track record, let's just say we should all just keep praying real hard, okay? Yeah, no, misinformation. I did look into some of the proof. I found the Brian Kohberger case to be kind of strange. But then it's kind of like one of those things where, yes, thank you, Izzy. To America. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shot? Do you want to go back with Rob to the RICO charge? Okay, anyway. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. To America.
It's an R. Kelly thing, if y'all don't know.
Lil Nas X. I got an article up. We'll start there.
Where he's singing.
Oh, there's also some stuff going on with Michael Jackson.
African kids or Indian kids or something like that. He's literally singing, "Do you have your passports?
So let's just start where I feel like starting, which is
the one I just heard about the most recently. That's the whole song.
Oops, no, not that. Hold on.
The entire song. Do you have your passports? Have you had your shots? Do you want to go to America?
Okay. This is no laughing matter. This seems pretty serious. It seems like there might be some medical attention needed here. Old Town Road rapper Lil Nas X rushed to hospital after surviving scary incident
TMZ. Okay,
All right, I gotta
okay.
take
First
Alice
things
outside. I'll be
first.
back
I'm
later to sew
suspicious.
some more. Let's go raid somebody, and we'll finish watching
TMZ.
BG. Just fucking school meeting thing outside. Jesus. All right, he's on. Who is on and crafting? Mommy Freya is on. You should go raid Mommy. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Mommy. Raid. We're gonna go raid Mom. Where's our raid note? Where's our raid message? Is it in the live stream chat? No, it ain't. Where is it? Silver, where'd you put that awesome stuff that I can never keep track of? Because I'm great. Anyway, I'll be back later to do... literally, just give me an hour or two or whatever to do this bullshit with Alice. But yeah, I'll be back. And I'll sew some more later. But for now, I gotta go outside and do this parenting thing. Oh, thank you. Dude, you guys are so much better at this shit than me. Alright. Bye, love you, bye.